When I started martial arts, I wanted to be like the kicker from Legend of the Drunken Master, for obvious reasons. But unfortunately, I was cursed with stubby legs and poor hip mobility and flexibility, so this is what we got. So I decided to change it up. I bought Sensei Seth's Maximize Your Kicking Height teachable course, and here are my results.
Oh man, I missed filming in the home dojo. So roughly 30 days ago, I set upon a challenge. And forgive my voice, I have been yelling at kids for the past 4 days. But 30 days ago, I set upon a challenge to myself to improve the height of my kicks. My main tool for this challenge was Maximize Your Kicking Height, a teachable course from Sensei Seth. I also used some of my previous knowledge on mobility training, as well as some of the stuff from like knees over toes guy to really help unlock my hips so I can kick more good. So today is day 31 technically, so I'm giving myself an extra day. I started on November 28th. It is December 29th. So before we see the results of the challenge, let's travel back in time and see where our starting numbers or starting heights lie.
Okay, so day one, we're gonna take some benchmarks here for how high I can kick with the three main kicks. Front kick, side kick, and round kick. So first one will be the front kick with the rear leg, and then I'll do a front kick with the lead leg and take the measurement of the two. Okay, so it's right below the zebra there. So again, here. So yeah, I'm right about here. So I'm gonna do it where the toes hit. Now I'm gonna do the lead leg here, like that. I'm gonna pendulum in. Yeah, that one's a little bit worse. Here. Okay, that one about dropped right again, right below the zebra here. Okay, side kick. I'm gonna do both legs, take the highest of the two, go from there. I'm gonna use blue for side kick. All right, so it's about right here. Is about as high as the side kick's wanting to go right now. Let's do the left leg. It's a little bit higher. A little bit lower. Okay, so about right there. Now time for the round kick. We're gonna use white tape for that. Now, I can use a lot of momentum to cheat this kick here, where I could probably get it pretty high, which is about mid-Z. But I'm gonna try and do it a little more controlled and without a whole lot of like momentum into it. Like, more like a Thai style round kick, where I kind of turn my hip over and everything. And I'll put 2 marks on each side for my left and my right. So it's about the same as the blue here. Let's do that again. That was a little bit higher. One more time, best out of 3. Okay, so that was about mid here for that kick. So in between the front kick and the side kick. Okay, now for the left leg. So that one's about the same height as the side kick with my left leg. These are the 3 heights of which I can, well, I guess technically 4. The 4 heights in which I can land my various kicks, and let's see how we do after 30 days. So using the 4 pillars that Sensei Seth set up to maximize your kick height, you have balance, you have flexibility, you have mobility, and then you have strength. Now, using these 4 pillars, I try to attack a workout several times a week that would basically help boost my ability in each one of these pillars. Now, personally, what I think my main issue wasn't necessarily flexibility or mobility. As with jiu-jitsu, I am involuntarily flexible, and my mobility on my kicks isn't always a problem, but my hips kind of lock up depending on the style of the kick that I'll demonstrate here in a moment. But my real issue actually lied in strength. And yes, I consider myself a fairly isometrically strong individual, but to actually keep my leg up there and actually have the control to be able to kick
you need these 4 pillars, and you need them to be fairly all pretty high to kick well.
So let's take a look at what I did for my strength workout. I would do various types of kettlebell exercises, from like a goblet squat to a side lunge. I would also do explosive movements, which includes box jumps with single leg and both legs. More so than that, isometric holds. As well as one of Sensei Seth's tricks, the ABC drill, which basically has you writing the ABCs with your foot using your leg muscles. For flexibility, I did a pretty standard approach, trying to get all the sides of the leg, from the inner leg to the quad to the hamstring to the IT band, as well as the glutes and the calves and ankles, pretty much the entire leg. If it can be stretched, I found a way to stretch it. Also stretching my back, my lower back, as I have a bulging disc. It's always good to get some stretching in. For my mobility workout, I would use the Asian squat assisted with the pole or the goblet squat. I also used a trick I got from Knees Over Toes Guy, where I would basically have myself performing a split as best of my ability, framed against the rack, and then using the cables to pull and allow my lower back to relax, as well as my inner thighs to open up. For balance, I kept it pretty simple. I would just perform the kicks at best of my ability dynamically, as well as hopping on one foot to help build those tiny stabilizer muscles to keep me afloat.
Are you eyeballing my shirt? Well, then you should go to xmarshall.com, save 10%, use the code Metrolina22. Link is in the description. Now, as I did with the starting numbers, I'm gonna warm up a little bit, and then I'm gonna tackle this bag. So today is the moment of truth. Did any of these exercises actually help me kick higher, better, or whatever? Let's see. The first one we'll do is my right round kick. That's this one right here, because this is my right round kick, okay? So before, looks like I was getting it about here. So roughly sub nipple height, okay? So now we're here, let's see what we got. And I've warmed up a little bit, so we should be good. Here. That looked pretty good.
Pretty good? Come on, Ed, give yourself more credit than that. That's a huge improvement.
That looks considerably higher. I was hitting roughly sub the zebra area with like shin. Boom, right there. So that's a 6 to 8 inch. Sorry, I stole that joke from Eli Knight. A 3 to 4 inch increase in my height and on my rear kick. Also, it feels a little more powerful, and that's gonna be subjective. And I'm not sponsored or anything by Sensei Seth, it's just a good friend, but definitely check the link in the description. You can sign up for the course yourself. It's on Teachable, it's inexpensive, and so far, seems to have worked. Now we'll go to the kick that I had probably the hardest time with, my left kick. So what's really weird about this, depending on what leg I'm using, my hip won't rotate. Now I could switch kick here and not turn over my hip, but that's super cheating, and I can get that higher than my other kick. But that's essentially like a crescent kick. What I wanted was my hip to rotate to where it's like turning over, feet pointing the right way. So if we do this the same way here, my objective, and this is a bit lower than the previous on my right leg was like 3 inches higher. So if we can get my left leg to the same as where my right leg was, that's a pretty good improvement here. So I'll start here, and that looked to be about the same. Let's try it again.
Now this kick, just due to my hip immobility on this side, it's much harder, but I was able to get a little bit of improvement, so good job, Ed.
So the blue one here is the side kick. So my side kick height wasn't very high. And I know this doesn't show up well, but it is right about here, which is right sub solar plexus, that's the word. We'll start with the right leg here. And again, side kick. Now when I have my side kick, I want it to be a good side kick. I don't want it to just be like penduluming up. That one was almost as high as my front kick.
That's not almost, Ed. That is as high as your front kick was a month ago. Wow.
All right, that's pretty consistent with our side kicks. It looks like it's almost a foot improvement.
All right, so honestly, there's a lot of improvement there. I'm thinking it went from this low, again, xiphoid process, to about as high as my front kicks were, which is right at chest level. That's really good. That's a really good improvement in my opinion. Man, I'm mildly impressed with myself. Okay, last but not least, the front kick. I am a little nervous about this one because like you can cheat this one with the pendulum, but again, I'm wanting a better kick. Like subjectively, I know better kick, but like hitting harder, having more control, things like that. So let's do that. Again, this is an average of my left and my right. I'm gonna start with the left first. Okay, so my toes were automatically like here. Let's keep going. Again, I'm not trying to pendulum to cheat.
All right, looks like a 3 to 5 inch improvement with the left leg. Let's do the right. That is an awesome improvement. My foot is almost entirely above my previous marker.
Well, what do you know? It actually worked. All the kicks, I'm gonna give myself the inch. All of the kicks that I threw have increased in height. And that just goes to show in 30 days how much you can truly accomplish if you really set your mind to it. I trained my butt off for this, so it's exciting to see actual results. And a lot of improvements in areas where I didn't actually think I would improve. The actual technique that I was working, I was able to control the kicks more. I'm able to throw them more in sparring. I have balance to be able to throw multiple kicks. Now I have been working on that and I will continue to work on that, but that just goes to show you that with Sensei Seth's help and that program, plus doing some of the mobility exercises I showed you earlier, you can't really go wrong. So overall, I highly recommend Sensei Seth's teachable course on maximizing your kicks. The balance part was super important, so as was the flexibility and mobility, as well as the strength portion, which again I said was the weakest area. But the result is in the pudding. What does that saying even mean? このビデオいいねと思ったらグッドボタンを押してください。もしかして俺の顔をミスしなくてほしい。ぜひ登録してください。それとともにコメントしてください。まあこの蹴りは本当に上達したんだよと思ったらコメントしてください。次のビデオへよろしくお願いいたします。ご覧にいただいてありがとうございました。じゃあね、パーティーオン。